Welcome, chosen ones. Have you ever wondered why the most difficult times come when you least expect them? What if I told you that this is no coincidence, but an important part of your life? How we respond to these situations is crucial, or they can keep happening. We often blame the devil for our problems, but it could actually be part of God's plan. God tests our faith to prove its authenticity and to refine us. When we face challenges, it's a way for God to see the true depth of our faith. These trials are not meant to harm us, but to strengthen us in our faith. In difficult moments, we learn more about ourselves and our commitment to God. Our reactions to these trials show our sincerity and commitment to the faith. Trials are a way for God to get to know us better and help us grow in our faith. When we face difficulties, we have the opportunity to reflect on our actions and beliefs. These moments of struggle can lead to personal growth and a deeper understanding of our spiritual journey. God uses these situations to shape us and help us become more resilient and steadfast in our faith. To get through these trials, there are important steps you must follow. Watch to the end to find out how to practice light. Isolation. I've got news for you. Your isolation may not be an accident. Periods of isolation can be difficult, but they are also opportunities for deep reflection and growth. When we're alone, it's a chance to strengthen our relationship with God without the distractions of everyday life. We can focus more on our spiritual journey, spend more time in prayer and contemplation, and deepen our understanding of God's will for us. It is important to see solitude as an opportunity to strengthen our relationship with God. In these moments, we can read the scriptures, meditate on their teachings, and listen for divine guidance. It's a time to seek clarity and direction in our lives. By embracing these moments, we develop a closer and more personal connection with God. Solitude is not about feeling abandoned, but about finding peace and comfort in the divine presence. Seeing solitude as a divine test of patience, faith, and trust in God's plan helps us to understand its true purpose. When we are alone, it is easy to feel forgotten, but it is in these moments that our faith is truly tested. We can be patient and trust that God has a plan for us. We can keep our faith strong even when it seems like nothing is happening. These are the questions that isolation asks of us. In isolation, our patience is tested as we wait for God's time. We must trust that He knows what is best for us, even when we can't see it. Our faith is tested as we continue to believe in His promises despite the lack of immediate results. And our trust in God's plan is tested as we depend on Him to guide us through these lonely times. As we endure these tests, we grow stronger in our faith and draw closer to God. Facing hatred. Experiencing the hatred of others is a significant test of faith and character. When we encounter hostility, it can be deeply upsetting and challenging to deal with. However, responding to this negativity with love, patience, and forgiveness is a powerful testament to our commitment to God's teachings. Confronting hatred is a profound test of our faith, challenging us to overcome negative emotions and act in accordance with divine principles. When others treat us with contempt or hostility, we have the opportunity to demonstrate the love and kindness that Jesus taught us. This is not easy, but it is a crucial aspect of living a life of faith. To respond to hostility with love is to choose kindness over retaliation. Instead of responding with anger or bitterness, we can show compassion and understanding. This approach not only diffuses tension, but also reflects God's love for others, showing that we are guided by higher principles and committed to living out our faith in every situation. Forgiveness is perhaps the most difficult response to hatred. It requires us to let go of grudges and resentments, even when we have been wronged. Forgiveness is a central tenet of Christianity, reflecting the grace that God gives us. By forgiving those who have hurt us, we free ourselves from the burden of anger and bitterness and can move forward in peace. People who send us hate will eventually learn a lesson through divine retribution. Trusting that God sees and judges all actions helps us maintain our integrity while focusing on responding with love and forgiveness. We can be sure that divine justice will prevail in the end. This belief allows us to let go of the need for personal vengeance and leave judgment in God's hands. Test self-control. Self-control is an important aspect of our faith journey, reflecting our ability to resist temptation and remain faithful to God's teachings. It's about maintaining discipline in our actions, thoughts, and behaviors, and aligning them with our spiritual values. Exercising self-control means resisting temptation and keeping our promises to God, demonstrating our commitment to a righteous path. One of the most challenging aspects of self-control is resisting our fleshly desires. These desires can take many forms, including impulses to indulge in harmful behaviors or to succumb to negative emotions. Self-control requires that we recognize these temptations and consciously choose to avoid them. This process helps us grow stronger in our faith, as each victory over temptation strengthens our commitment to God's principles. Keeping the faith means adhering to the moral and ethical guidelines established by our faith. It means choosing honesty over deceit, kindness over cruelty, and humility over pride. Every decision we make, big or small, can be a test of our self-control. By consistently making choices that reflect our faith, we demonstrate our commitment to living according to God's will. Self-control also includes keeping the promises we make to God. These promises may include vows to live a more virtuous life, commitments to help others, or resolutions to deepen our spiritual practices. Keeping these promises requires discipline and perseverance, especially when we face distractions or challenges. By keeping our commitments, we show our respect for God and our commitment to spiritual growth. It is important to realize that self-control is not about perfection, but about progress. Everyone faces moments of weakness, and it is natural to fail occasionally. However, each time we exercise self-control, we strengthen our spirituality. When we stumble, seeking forgiveness and striving to do better next time is part of the journey. This approach helps us develop a resilient faith that can withstand various challenges. Unexpected conflict and spiritual warfare. Unexpected conflicts can be challenging, but they often serve as a test of our faith and a form of spiritual warfare. These conflicts come suddenly and cause stress and uncertainty. However, they are opportunities for us to demonstrate our patience, prayer, and understanding. When we face conflict, it is critical that we respond with grace and faith, demonstrating our commitment to God's teachings. Responding to domestic conflicts with patience, prayer, and understanding is essential. When disagreements or arguments arise, our immediate reactions can either exacerbate or resolve the situation. By choosing to remain patient, we prevent anger from taking over. Prayer helps us seek God's guidance and strength to handle conflict wisely. Understanding allows us to see the other person's perspective and find common ground. These responses demonstrate our commitment to living out our faith in challenging times. Standing firm in prayer means continually seeking God's help and guidance when conflict arises. We may feel overwhelmed or powerless, but through prayer we invite God into our struggles and ask for His intervention and support. This not only helps us navigate the conflict, but also strengthens our confidence in God's power and love. Prayer becomes our armor, protecting us from negative influences and helping us stay focused on our faith. These moments of conflict are tests of our ability to maintain serenity and faith even in the midst of chaos. Responding with patience prevents the conflict from escalating, while prayer gives us the strength we need to face the situation wisely. Understanding helps to build bridges and resolve misunderstandings. Ultimately, these unexpected conflicts are opportunities to strengthen our faith and trust in divine guidance, demonstrating our commitment to a life of faith even in difficult times. Financial challenges. Financial challenges are a common aspect of life and can be a significant test of our faith. It is important to distinguish between responsible financial behavior and reckless actions. It is important to manage our finances wisely, making decisions that are consistent with our faith and values. Responsible financial behavior includes budgeting, saving, and spending within our means, while reckless actions often leads to unnecessary debt and financial stress. Believing in God's provision for those who manage their finances responsibly is a central belief in our faith journey. By being wise with our money, we demonstrate that we are good stewards of the resources God has entrusted to us. This includes living within our means, avoiding unnecessary debt, and planning for the future. In this way, we demonstrate our trust in God's provision and our commitment to use His gifts wisely. Trusting in God's provision while avoiding financial irresponsibility is a delicate balance. It requires faith that God will provide for our needs, combined with practical measures to manage our resources effectively. This means avoiding impulse purchases and focusing on long-term financial stability. Trusting in God's provision doesn't mean neglecting our responsibilities. On the contrary, it means making wise decisions and trusting that God will bless our efforts. It is important to distinguish between financial difficulties that result from unavoidable circumstances and those that result from irresponsible choices. Life can throw unexpected financial burdens at us, such as medical emergencies or the loss of a job. In these situations, our faith is tested as we seek to trust in God's provision and find ways to cope with the crisis. On the other hand, financial struggles caused by irresponsible spending highlight the need for better management and discipline. The temptation to give up. The temptation to give up is a common challenge that many of us face on our faith journey. Finding satisfaction in obeying God's call, even when it conflicts with our personal desires, is essential to overcoming this temptation. This requires us to put God's will before our own, trusting that His plans are ultimately for our good. Understanding that the challenges we face make us stronger is key to resisting the temptation to give up. Difficulties and setbacks are not signs of failure, but opportunities for growth and development. Each obstacle we overcome strengthens our faith and resilience and prepares us for the journey ahead. By reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, we can find the motivation to persevere in the face of adversity. Transforming negative energy into positive action and determination is critical to overcoming the temptation to give up. Instead of focusing on feelings of frustration or defeat, we can channel our energy into productive endeavors. This may include seeking support from our faith community, engaging in prayer and reflection, or finding ways to serve others. By focusing on positive action, we shift our perspective from despair to hope and determination. If you're still watching, thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed it and would like to participate in future videos, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment on what you thought, and of course, share this video with those who might benefit from these words. See you next time and stay tuned for more inspiring content.